right, class, so we're going to go through the study guide together. Please make corrections and also please make sure that you show your work on white paper for credit. Um, First and last name goes at the top. Make sure you put the date and put study guide and then what period you have Miss Reyes. All right, so in number one, we're finding the value of x. We notice in this diagram we have two angles that are side by side to form a straight line. That means that these adjacent angles, these angles that form a straight line, add up to 180 degrees. So I'm going to add these two angles together and set it equal to 180. So the first angle is x plus the second angle is 2x plus 9. And I'm setting it equal to 180 degrees. Okay? All right, so now I'm going to combine like terms. The terms that are alike is this 1x plus 2x, that's going to be 3x. Then plus the 9 is equal to 180 degrees. In order to get x by itself, we're going to get rid of the 9 first. So we're going to subtract 9. In our calculator, we could type 180 minus the 9, okay, and it's 171. So we have 3x, because this is gone, is equal to 171. Now, in order to get x by itself, we're going to divide both sides by the 3. When we divide 171 divided by 3, that gives us 57. So x is 57. The value of x is 57. So that's going to be A. Please make sure that you show your work, box it in, and move on to the next one. Number 2. Okay? With number 2, we have this parallelogram. L, M, N, O. This is the parallelogram. Okay? And we're trying to find the measure of L, start at L, then go to N, then go to O. So this angle right here. All right. And so what we know about that is that what we know is that we can extend these two lines here. And I can actually try to trace it. You can't see it, but I can trace this line here, and we got these two lines here. Okay. Well, let me do two at a time. I don't know why I did that. If I do two at a time, if I trace it and I have these two lines right here, and then my transversal line or line that cuts through is this line right here. So if I'm just looking at these two lines and this transversal line, then I know that this angle right here, slide this out, this angle right here, which is 57, is the same measurement as this angle over here, which is 57. Okay, so these two angles are alternate interior angles because they're on the inside and on opposite ends. So this angle right here is also 57. Okay, these two angles are alternate interior. All right, these other lines are kind of distracting, so it's hard to see. So that's why I just drew those. All right, so now I know that this is 57. So now what I also know to find this one is that all three of these angles form a straight line. So that means this angle plus this angle plus this angle add up to 180 degrees. So I can add all three angles together and set it equal to 180, or I can add these two together and subtract it from 180, see what's left. So I'm going to do that part, okay? I'm going to add those two angles together and set it equal to, I'm going to add all three angles together. X plus 57 plus 81 and set it equal to 180. That's what I'm going to do, okay? All right, so I add, combine like terms, that's these two right here. So that's going to be 57 plus 81, and that gives you 138. So this is 138. So bring down the x plus 138 is equal to 180. Now to get x by itself, you're going to get rid of this. This is positive, so subtract it from both sides. And subtract 138 from both sides. This is gone, and I'm left with x is equal to, and I have 180, see that, minus 138, and that's 42. So the value of x is 42. So that's going to be B, or the measurement of that angle is 42. Okay? All right, so now what is the measure in this diagram right here? What is the measure of LNO? Well, I'm sorry. I'm reading the wrong thing. What is the measure of N? That's this angle measurement right here. Well, this angle is an exterior angle. Remember, we talked about what an exterior angle is. Exterior angles on the outside. But to find the answer, it's the sum of the two opposite angles, not the one beside it, but the two interior opposite. So these two angles added together is going to give you this exterior angle. So we're going to do that. Number 3, to find an exterior angle is going to equal your two opposite interior angles. Okay, so we're going to add those two opposite interior angles together, 45 plus 65. So that's 45 plus 65. Okay, so we got 45 plus 65, and that gives you 110. So the exterior angle is 110, or 110 degrees. Okay, all right, number 4. Okay, in which table is y a function of x? Remember, we talked about a function. A function is where your x values do not repeat. Okay, so a function is where x coordinates do not repeat. They're all different. If they're all different, then you're going to say it is a function. None of the x coordinates can repeat. It's okay for y to repeat, but it's not okay for x to repeat. So we're going to look at the x values for this is a. So these are my x values, -5, -3, -5, -3. You see how these are the same? They repeat here, and they also repeat here and here. A is not a function. Okay? Do you see how, let's see, -2, 0, +2, and 4. All of these x values are different. This is a function. Okay? Let's look at this one. -1, 1, 0, 1. Ones here repeat. +1, +1. Not a function. And all of these x values are the same. So this is definitely not a function. All the x values have to be different. It's okay if the y's repeat, but the x's cannot repeat and it be a function. So for number 4, the answer here is going to be B. Okay. Number 5. All right. It says, what is the value of x? So we're going to write this equation down and solve. We have 4x plus 1/2. In parentheses, we have 6x plus 8 is equal to 5x minus 9. First thing is distributive property. So we're going to distribute the half. So when we distribute the half here, let's go ahead and bring this down. We have 1/2, or half of 6x. What's half of 6x? It's 3x. Okay? Then what's half of 8? Half of 8 is 4. Break down the equal sign. Break down 5x minus 9. Remember, if you forget half of that, or it's another kind of fraction, when you're multiplying a fraction times a whole number, you're going to write the whole number as a fraction by putting a 1 under it and multiply straight across. This gives me 6 on the top. This gives me 2 on the bottom. Reduce or simplify this. 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. And 3 is going to be your answer. That's how I get 3x. Okay? Now let's do half times 8. So we got 1/2 times 8. Put a 1 under the 8. Write the whole number to a fraction by putting a 1 under it. Multiply straight across. So it's 8 on the top and 2 on the bottom. This gives you 8 divided by 2, which is 4. So that's how we get 4 here. Okay? Now we're going to combine like terms on each side of the equal sign separately. Remember, these notes, the steps are in your notebook, okay? So we're going to combine these two terms because they're like terms. So this gives me a 7x. Bring down the plus 4 and bring everything else down. You cannot add terms or subtract terms that are not alike. So don't. The next step is to move the variables to the same side. You can't solve for x if you have an x over here and an x over here. Move them to the same side. I'm going to move the 5x because it's smaller. This is positive. So the only way to move it over here is to subtract it. So we got minus 5x on both sides. Remember, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So if Sarah has $10 and then Mike has $10, if I take $2 away from Sarah, I've got to take $2 away from Mike in order for them to remain equal. Okay? All right, so this gives me 2x plus the 4. Bring down the equal. This is gone now. 5x minus 5x is 0, and I'm left with this negative 9. Okay? So now what I want to do here to get x by itself is to move the number that's not directly attached to the variable, 4. To move a positive 4, you have to subtract the 4. Use inverse operation. So if it was subtraction, you would add. So this is gone now. This is 0, and all I'm left with is a 2x. Bring down the equal. Now I have negative 9 minus 4. If you forget, you could type that in. Negative 9 minus 4. And that's going to give you, look, a negative 13. You see it? Oops, sorry. All right. So now, in order to get x by itself, we're going to divide both sides by 2. So now we're going to get 2 divided by 2, or 2 goes into 2 one time. So that's 1x. And now we have a negative divided by a positive. This is a negative. And we got half of 13 is 6 and 5/10. So this is 6 and 5/10. That is letter choice A. Okay. Now let's look at number 6. They just stuck together, y'all. All right, so now let's look at the points to represent a function. So now we're looking to see x. In order for it to be a function, x cannot repeat. X coordinate cannot repeat. All right, so let's look at the first one. This ordered pair has an x coordinate of -5, and this ordered pair is -5 and go down 1, 2, 3, 4. -5 and -4. This ordered pair is -3 and -4. This ordered pair is 0 and -4. This ordered pair is +3 and 4. -4, sorry. And this ordered pair is +6 and -4. Okay? So all of my x coordinates here are different. This is a function. Okay? Now, looking at this, these ordered pairs here, this ordered pair go over, this is -1 and up 5. This is -1 and down 5. Look, already, you see how these x's repeat? Already, this is not a function. Also, look at this. Also, these two have the same x coordinate, okay? So that's not a function. And then look at these. All these have the same x ordered pair. This is not a function. These two have the same x ordered pair. These two have the same x ordered pair. This is also not a function. So number 6 on our paper, we're going to put that the answer here is A. Only one that is a function. Number 7, okay? Number 7, which relation is not a function, okay? So that means the x values do repeat. Okay, so let's look at underline only the x. So look at this one. This is 1, 3, 6, and 10. All of these x values are different. This is a function. Okay? 1, 4, 4, and 10. These two repeat. This is not a function. Okay? -1, 1, -4, and 4. This is a function. All of those x values are different. And D, 3, 5, 7, 13. All of these x values are different. This is a function. The only one that's not a function is B. So for number 7, we're going to put B. That's the only one that is not a function. Number 8, we got lines M and N. This is M. This is N. This is the transversal line. Transversal line cuts a pair of parallel lines. All right. So now it's asking you for which angle corresponds with 2. So which one of these angles is in the same position as 2? 4 is. 4, I'm sorry, not 4. 6 is. 2 and 6 correspond. They're both in the top right corner. So 2 and 6 are congruent. They respond to each other. They're corresponding angles. Also, 1 and 5, 3 and 7, 4 and 8. So the corresponding angle for 2 is 6. Okay? So for 8, we're going to put is C. All right, so number 9, we're going to solve this inequality. All right, number 9, we have 7 parentheses x plus 4 greater than or equal to 2 parentheses 2x minus 3, then we got plus x. Let me solve this inequality. First thing is distributive property. We have distributive property on both sides. So let's do this side first. We're going to multiply 7 times both numbers in the parentheses. So 7 times x is 7x, and 7 times 4 is 28. Bring down the inequality. We have distributive property over here. We're going to multiply 2 times both numbers in the parentheses, or terms in the parentheses. Oops. So we got 2 times 2x, which is 4x. Then 2 times a -3 is -6. Bring down the plus x. So distributive property is first. Now we're combining like terms on each side. You can't combine these terms because they're not like terms. On this side, you can combine 4x with 1x. It's automatically a 1 in front of that x. So 4x plus 1x is 5x. Okay? Bring down the -6. Bring everything down. This is greater than or equal to. Bring everything down. Okay? Now we need to move the variables to the same side. I'm going to move this one because it's smaller. This is a positive 5x, so I'm going to subtract it to move it over here. You can't solve for x if you have x's on both sides, so you need to move the x's to the same side. So I'm going to subtract 5x to move it from here and put it over here. All right, so this is going to be 2x, bring down the plus 28, bring down the greater than or equal to. This is gone, and I'm left with, don't forget the sign, minus or negative 6, okay? Now I need to get x by itself. Always get rid of the number that's not directly attached to the variable. So to get rid of a positive 28, we're going to subtract 28 on both sides. When I subtract 28 from this side, this is gone and I'm left with 2x. Bring down the inequality. And then this, remember, look, you have negative 6 minus 28. Look, that's negative 30, negative 34. Okay? Now we're going to divide both sides by 2. That's a positive 2. Keep the inequality the same because you're dividing both sides by a positive. Only flip it if this was a negative, okay? All right, so we got negative 34 divided by 2. That's negative 17. So we have x, keep the inequality the same, greater than or equal to a negative 17. So in order to graph this, you're going to put 17, negative 17 in the center. The numbers get larger this way. So that's negative 16, negative 15, negative 14. Oops. Larger this way, that's negative 18, negative 19, so on and so forth. Put the circle above the negative 17 and greater than. The numbers get bigger this way. Now, it's going to be closed because it's equal to. Negative 17 is a part of the solution, so shade in negative 17 because x can be equal to 17 or greater, negative 17, or greater than negative 17, okay? So now when we look at this, we got negative 17, closed circle, shade this way. Good job. Negative 17, this looks like less than, no. This is positive 17, no. Positive 17, no. The answer here is A, okay? Negative 17. All right. Okay, let's look at number 10. What is the value of x? So for number 10, we have 5 minus 3, parentheses, x plus 4 is equal to 8, minus, got parentheses, 2x minus 5, okay? Distributive property comes first. So here we have distributive property on this side and on this side. This is a negative 3. You're going to distribute or multiply a negative 3 times both numbers in the parentheses. Negative is in front of it, okay? Here, this is a negative that's in front of the parentheses, so you're just going to distribute the negative. You can treat it like a negative 1, okay? All right, so now when we do this, we have 5. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times 4 is going to be a negative 12. Bring down the equal. Bring down the 8. Negative 1 or negative times a positive is going to give me a negative 2x. A negative times a negative is going to give me a positive 5 there. Okay? Now we're going to combine like terms. Do each side separately. So let's look at this side first. On this side, I can combine the 5 with the negative 12. If you forget, if this is calculator active, you can type this in as 5 minus, let me show you how to do it. 5 minus 12, just like that. And that's going to be a negative 7. Do you see it? So we combine these two first. This is negative 7 minus 3x. Bring down the equal. On this side, we got 8 plus 5. If you forget, you can type it in as 8 plus 5. Do you see it? It's 13. So we have 13 here. And bring down the minus. Don't forget the sign in front of it. Okay? Now, we want to move the variables to the same side. We can't, and remember the rules are in your notebook. We cannot solve for x if you have x's on both sides. So move them to the same side. All right, so I'm going to choose to move, it doesn't matter, I'm going to move this one over here. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. Could have moved it to the other side, honestly. Let's do that since it's smaller. That's less work we got to do, right? So let's add 3x to move it to the other side, okay? When you add 3x over here, this is gone, and we're left with this -7, okay? And either way, you're going to get the same answer either way, okay? This gives you 13, and this gives you a positive 1x. If you forget, you type it in as -2 plus 3. See, that gives you a positive 1. So positive 1x. You don't have to put the 1 in front of the x, okay? Get x by itself, get rid of the 13. You're going to subtract 13 on both sides. When you subtract 13 on both sides, you're going to get, see, look at this, -7, if you don't remember, minus the 13. That gives you a -20. Okay? So you got -20 here, bring down the equal, x. All right? So for 10, you're going to put 20. Please make sure you show your work. Box in, move on. Okay, so number 11, you have G and H. Where's G? This is line G and H. They're parallel to each other. That means they're never going to cross each other, okay? All right, and then you have the transversal line. You got several. You got 2 of them. Transversal this way, transversal this way. E, line E, this one, and line F is this one, okay? All right, so what are they asking you for? They're asking you for what is the measurement of angle 2? Okay, so look, angle 2 is right. Angle 2 is right here. All right. Oh, we're looking for the measurement of this angle. 4 and 2 are congruent, but we need to look at this. We need to look at the measurements that we have. All right, so I'm looking for this angle measurement here. I'm looking for an angle measurement that's very similar to this, okay? So in this picture, if I go this way with the angle, I'm going to just look at these because this makes the angle. So I'm going to just look at those two. Let me only trace these lines. This line, well, the 2 parallel lines and this line. See what I get. So I got, let me see, the 2 parallel tracing, 2 parallel lines, and I got this line right here. That way I'm only seeing certain lines. So I'm just tracing. So this angle right here is here. This is angle 2. Okay? What other angle is going to be similar to that? It's going to be this angle down here. These 2 angles correspond. So it's going to be this angle down here. These 2 angles here correspond. So they are the same measurement. So if I can find this one, then that's the same measurement as angle 2. So let's look at it. So right beside it is 40. These 2 angles down here combined is 180. So really all I have to do is say 180 minus 40, and that'll give me my answer. So let's do that. All right. So we got for number 11, we got 180 minus 40, and that gives us 140. So the measurement of the angle is 140. If this right here is 140, then this is 140 because they correspond. So your answer here is D. So on your paper, 11 is D. Number 12, we're looking at Uh, we're looking at this. Two parallel lines cut by this transversal. Okay, so this angle and this angle right here. All right, so both of these are same side exterior. They're on the same side exterior. They are supplementary to each other. Okay? Same side exterior angles are supplementary. They're both on the outside and they're both on the same side. So we can say this angle plus this angle is 180. Okay? So we got that first angle, top angle was 5x plus 3, and then plus 127, all equals to 180. They are supplementary. Same side exterior, supplementary. Combine like terms, so we're going to combine these two together. So 127, 28, 29, 30. So we got 5x plus 130. Combine those. We're going to bring that down. To get x by itself, we're going to subtract 130 on both sides. We subtract 130 on this side, we're left with 5x. Bring down the equal. When we subtract 130 here, we're left with 50. So now we got to divide both sides by 5, and the value of x is 10. That's the value of x. Did it ask for the value of x? Yes, it did. It says the value of x. The value of x is 10. So our answer here is going to be A. This is number 12. 12 is A. Okay? All right, let's look at number 13. Okay? Box this in. Let's keep going. Number 13. Okay? So with number 13, all right, it says here, what is the measure of Z? All right, where is Z? Z is over here. Okay? Remember, it's saying that they are similar. That means they're proportionate. That means if this angle is 68, this angle is 68. If this angle is 53, this angle is 53. So these two angles would have the same measure, okay? So in order to figure out the measurement of that angle, we add these two together and subtract it from 180. Okay, so we have 68 plus 53. Okay, 68 plus 53, and that is 121. And you're going to say 180 minus 121. Or you could have set this up as an equation, okay? Remember, we've done that before. So we have 180 minus 121, and that's 59. Okay, so this missing angle right here is 59, B. So the answer here is B. Okay. All right, number 14. This is S and this is T. They're parallel, cut by transversal U. Okay, so now it says, which of the statements is true? So we got 2 and 6. This is 2 and this is 6. Alternate exterior. No, 6 is not on the outside, it's on the inside. 2 is outside, but 6 is not outside. Exterior is outside. So these are not alternate exterior angles. That's false. Okay? All right. So let's look at the other. Alternate interior, let's do 4 and 6. Well, they are both interior, but alternate means they're on opposite ends. So that would be 4 and 5 or 6 and 3. But these are same side interior because they're on the same side of the line. So this is not the correct answer either. Okay, vertical angles, 3 and 4. This is 3. This 3 and this 4. They are adjacent. Vertical is diagonal. 1 and 4 are vertical. 2 and 3 are vertical. 6 and 7 are vertical. 5 and 8 are vertical. But 3 and 4 are adjacent. They are not vertical. They're also supplementary. They're not vertical. 3 and 2. Yes, the measurement of angle 3 and 2 are vertical. They are diagonal from each other. They are congruent. D is your answer there. So number 14, we're going to write D is the answer. Okay. 15. All right, so now look at the graph. Select the graphs that are function. It could be more than one answer. So look at this one. These 2 points have the same x value. The ordered pairs have the same x value, so this is not a function. Okay? If I put points along this line, none of these points would have the same x value. This is a function. All the x values, all the ordered pairs that are on this line have a different x value. All the ordered pairs on this line have a different x value. Okay? All the x values are going to be different. Whatever point I choose, any point that's on this line is going to have a different x value. This is a function. Okay? Let's look at this. This ordered pair has an x value of 1, 2, 3. This ordered pair, negative 3. This is negative 1 x value, 0 x value, 1, 2, 3 is an ordered pair x value. This has 4. All of these x values, if you write these ordered pairs out, all of these ordered pairs have a different x value. This is a function. All right, here, look. This ordered pair up here on this part of the line and down here, they have the exact same x value. This is not a function. Some of the x values here repeat. So we got C, E, and B. All right, so for number 15, C, E, and D. And I should have put them in ABC order, right? Okay, number 16, we're solving this equation, inequality. So we have number 16, we have 6 plus 3y divided by 3, okay, and then y plus 1 divided by 2. All right, so let's do this. Let's get rid of this division here. The opposite of division is multiplication. So let's multiply both sides by 3. So when I multiply this side by 3, this 3 cancels out here, okay? And so that means I'm left with, on this side, 6 plus 3y. Bring down the inequality, okay? On this side, I'm multiplying everything in the parentheses by 3. So 3 times y is 3y. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. Okay? So now, in order to get rid of the 6, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the 3. I'm going to multiply both sides by 6. Multiply this by 6. So when I multiply this by 6, 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times, it's distributive property, okay? 6 times 3y is going to be 18y. Bring down the inequality, okay? And then on this side, the 6 cancels out, so I'm left with 3y plus 3, okay? All right, so now to get y by itself, listen, I got to move the y's to the same side. Let me move this one, okay? This is positive, so subtract it to move it, okay? So when I subtract it here, I'm left with 36 plus 15y. And you can type that in your calculator, okay? If you forgot. This is gone, and I'm left with just 3 on this side. 3y minus 3y, 0. It's gone. So now to get y by itself, get rid of 36 first. So I'm going to subtract 36. If you forgot how, please type it in your calculator. This gives you 15y. Bring down the inequality, and this gives you a negative 33. So now we're going to divide both sides. Hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Let me check something. I think I did something wrong. Hold on. Let me check. All right. So that didn't go up well. Let me do it again. 6 plus 3y divided by the 3 here. Okay. You know, I'm going to do this. Reduce this. So let's reduce this side. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Then that's going to be y. That's much better anyway. Y plus 1 divided by 2. So let's multiply both sides by 2. We're going to do it again because I did something crazy. 2 times 2 is 4 plus this is 2y. Okay. And this is gone. So this is y plus 1. Okay. Move the y's to the same side. So I'm going to subtract 1y from over here. When I subtract 1y from over here, this gives me 4 plus y. Bring down the inequality. And this gives me 1. So now I'm going to subtract 4 on both sides. And this gives me y. Bring down my inequality. This is negative 3. That's better. Okay. So when we graph this, this is going to be negative 3 here. Um, put 2 numbers over here, 2 numbers on this side. This is getting larger. That's negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 4, this is smaller, negative 5. So this can be equal to, so shade it in, and you want all the values to be larger than it. So we're going to shade this way. Okay? So that one is going to be, this is going in the wrong direction. This is wrong. This is positive 3. That's wrong. This is negative 3, and it's going, okay, good. This one's the correct one. And it's a closed circle. So C is your answer here. Okay? Woo! Isn't that crazy? Sorry about that, y'all. All right, 18. All right, so we got 18. All right, so we're looking at how many solutions you have. Okay, so if I am combining like terms here, let me write them one at a time. So I have 6x plus the 2 minus 4x is equal to 6 minus 2x. All right, so we want to know which one is infinitely many. That means both sides is exactly the same. So let's look at this to see if both sides are exactly the same. If both sides aren't exactly the same, then it's not infinitely many. So we're going to combine like terms over here. This gives you 2x plus 2 on this side. This side, where you combine like terms, here you combine these two. This is going to give me it's going to give me positive 2 minus 2x. They are not the same. This is positive, but this is negative. They're different, okay? So this is not infinitely many solutions. They have to be exactly the same to be infinitely many solutions, okay? All right, let's do B. Let's do B. So we got 6x plus 2 minus 4x is equal to 4 plus 2x minus 6. Okay, remember, they have to be the same. Combine like terms over here. This gives you 2x, then plus 2. Bring down the equal. This, combine these two. I'm going to go ahead and bring this down. That's 2x. This gives you a negative 2. Look, almost exactly the same. Just this is different. So B is not your answer either. Okay? All right, so now C. We have 4x minus 2 minus 6x is equal to 6 minus 2x plus 4. Okay, so here on this side, these two are like terms. This gives me a negative 2x. This gives me, bring down a negative 2. Combine like terms, okay? Combine these two. They're like terms. They don't have a variable attached to it. Okay, so you can combine those. This gives you 10. You see, this is not alike either. Okay, so we're gonna pray D is right. Right? We're gonna pray D is right. All right, so this is 4x plus 2 minus 6x is equal to 6. Like 6 minus 2x minus 4. All right. Uh, combine these two. That's negative 2x plus 2. Bring down the equal. This is negative 2x, but combine these two, okay? This gives you plus 2. So the both sides are exactly the same. So this is going to have infinitely many solutions. D is your answer. So we're going to write D as our answer. Okay? 19. All right. Says, what makes x true? You can substitute the x value in. You can substitute these in to see which one it makes true, or you can solve it. Okay? It's up to you. So we got, but when if you substitute them each in, you have to substitute them both in, and they both sides have to be true. Okay? Um, or you can just solve it. I'm gonna just solve it. Okay? Equals. All right. So combined like terms can't move the variables to the same side. I'm gonna move this one because it's smaller. So subtract from both sides. Okay? Can't subtract it from this. They're not like terms. Okay? So now let's do this. So bring this down. And here, when I subtract, this is 0, this is 2. Okay? This is gone, and we're left with just 5. 5.0 is the same as 5, okay? And this is, we can put this as 2. That's just the same as 2. 2.0 is the same as 2. All right, so now, this is a plus. Don't forget the plus. So move the 12.5 by subtracting, or 12 and 5 tenths from both sides. Okay? This is gone, and we're left with 2x is equal to, and we got a negative 17 and 5 tenths. Okay? So now we're going to divide both sides by a 2. So this is x is equal to, and let's do this in half. We got negative 17, and we kind of can cut this 50 in half and get 25, right? Okay. Oops, that's right. Is. Forgot to divide. Divide by 2. So we got 75. What did I do? No, I did it right. Okay, I'm tripping. That's what happens when you get towards the end of the day, y'all. Woo, glory. All right, and so this gives you a. All right. The last one, 20. Okay, so here you got these two lines are parallel. This is your transversal. Looking for the measurement of S. Where's S at? S is here. U is here. And T. So the measurement of this angle right here. SUT. So this measurement. All right, so I'm going to do this again. So I know this angle is 42 because they're vertical. All right. So let's draw a couple things so I can see some stuff. Remember, I'm tracing over it. I got these two lines right here. Remember, that's these two. And the angle that I'm looking for is this one. So I need this line to make it. So I'm going to draw this line. This line right here. Oops. Okay. So this is the measure. This is the angle that I'm trying to find right here. So another angle that is uh, I'm trying to find this angle right here. So another angle that would be congruent to this, oops, slide this over, sorry. Another angle that could be congruent to this angle right here is going, X, is going to be this angle right here. These two angles would be their alternate interior. So it would be this angle right here. These two angles right here would be these two angles right here. So how do I find the measurement of this angle is the question. Well, we know these two angles are vertical, so this is going to be 34. Okay, this is 34. So if this is 42, we can find this one because all these angles in this triangle are 180. So let's add these two together and then subtract it from 180. So we got where's my paper? So we have this is 20. We have 34 plus 42. 34 plus 42, that's 76. Okay? And then we're going to say 180 minus 76. So we got 180 minus 76. And that is 104. So this angle is 104. So if this angle right here is 104, then these two angles are alternate interior angles. This is also 104. So the answer here is going to be C. Okay. So C is your answer there. All right. Please make sure you share your work, and if you have questions, just let me know. Okay.